Friends, the Ram Setu holds a very important place in the Ramayana.
Sri Ram's army is standing on this side of the ocean and Ravan is 100 yojans away on the other side. If the Ram Setu hadn't been built, defeating Ravan would have been impossible. Whenever the question arises about whether the Ramayana actually happened, the very first example given is the Ram Setu.
Because this is something that still exists today. You can go and visit it for yourself. So there is no controversy about whether the Ram Setu exists. It is right there in front of us. The controversy is about how it was made. Whether it is a natural formation, or is it man-made, or is it made through divine intervention. Today we are going to look into all these questions. Keep watching. Before we talk about the Ram Setu, let's get to know some basic facts about it. What does it look like? How big is it? And what is it made of?
In this picture taken by a NASA satellite, you can see a chain of small islands between India and Sri Lanka, some of which are above sea level and some below. This photo from NASA actually sparked a huge controversy, which we'll talk about later in this video.
What we are calling islands are actually coral reefs and sandbanks. I'll explain what they are in just a moment. The Ram Setu is 48 kilometers long. It's very shallow, only about 1 meter deep. Due to this, large ships cannot pass through here. Only very small boats can sail through. Most geologists and marine scientists believe that this is a naturally occurring geological feature. There are three main reasons given for its formation.
Millions of years ago, Sri Lanka was physically connected to India. Around 125,000 years ago, due to tectonic movements, it began to break away. The rock fragments left behind from this separation can be seen today in the form of the rectangular limestone blocks in the Ram Setu. The second reason is tombolo sedimentation. If we look at the map, on one side of the Ram Setu is the Gulf of Mannar and on the other side is Park Bay. Sand and sediments from both sides come and accumulate in the middle.
Because this went on for a very long time, a lot of sand accumulated here, which in geology is called a tombolo. More sand comes from the Gulf of Mannar side, due to which it has a little bit more curve in that direction.
The third reason is a very tiny marine creature called a coral polyp. These are only found in shallow waters where sunlight can reach. They grow on rocks underwater and multiply using a cloning technique, all sticking to one another. Each polyp builds a limestone skeleton around itself, and as these grow, they start looking like massive rocks.
There is one more thing we need to take a look at, the floating stones.
There is a temple in Rameshwaram called the Panchamukhi Hanuman Temple. Inside this temple, large stones are kept that actually float on water. You can see these stones floating with your own eyes. There is another temple, the Kothanda Ramar Swami Temple, where locals will show you floating stones for just 20 rupees. Apart from that, you can even go to Dhanushkodi beach and float such stones yourself in a bucket or a tub. The traditional view is that when the Vanaras wrote the name of Sri Ram on the stones, they began to float in the water. It is also said that in the Vanar Sena, there were two architects named Nal and Neel, who were the sons of Vishwakarma. They possessed the art of making stones float. That's why these stones are also called Nal-Neel stones.
On the other hand, science states that these floating stones are either corals, which we talked about earlier in the episode,
or a special type of igneous rock called pumice. When a volcano erupts, hot lava pours out. If this lava cools down very rapidly, the gases inside get trapped, creating microcavities within the stone. This reduces its density, and as we know, anything with a lower density than water will float on it.
With so many reasons pointing to the Ram Setu being a natural formation, why do some people still believe that it's man-made? Let's understand the reasons behind that as well.
In 2018, a documentary was released on the Discovery Science channel. Based on NASA's satellite images of the Ram Setu, it claimed that it is a man-made structure. This video got over 9 million views. Then in 2022, a movie came out titled Ram Setu, where a scientist researches the structure and finds proof that it is indeed man-made.
When we look closely at the structure of the Ram Setu, we find two major geological anomalies.
The coral and limestone rocks are sitting on top of loose sand, whereas generally rocks are at the bottom and sand is on top. A unique characteristic of corals is that they grow only on hard rocks. They cannot grow on loose, shifting sand. So were these coral rocks formed somewhere else and then brought here? The second anomaly. Dating tests reveal a chronological inversion. The rocks on top are 7,000 years old, while the sand underneath is only 4,000 years old. If sand had slowly accumulated on top of 7,000-year-old rocks, it wouldn't be surprising. But here, it's the exact opposite. So did the sand get here through natural processes, but the rocks on top were brought from somewhere else and placed there by humans or the Vanaras, just as described in the Ramayana? Some experts, like the former director of the Geological Survey of India, S. Badrinarayan, believe that these anomalies confirm it is a man-made structure. On the flip side, many geologists, oceanographers, and even ISRO believe that when waves clash from two different directions, it is entirely possible for sand to get trapped under the rocks over thousands of years. Plus, this region frequently faces major cyclones, which could cause coral rocks to break off and settle on top of sandbanks.
Apart from these two viewpoints, there could be a third perspective.
Is it possible that lakhs of years ago, the Ram Setu was a natural sand bridge? It might have been just slightly above sea level. It's a proven fact that sea levels have risen over time. So as the water rose, this bridge probably began to submerge. Perhaps the civilizations of that era reinforced it by throwing down rocks and stones to raise the bridge back up so they could continue to cross it.
Be sure to write your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the Ram Setu is natural or man-made or a hybrid of both?